What's going on, you guys? It's be your boy Scotty by Nature TV.
It's your boy Pierre from Evner Entertainment, and I'm young, fresh, and new.
Yeah, you got it. All right, you guys, we're here for a brand new episode of Young, Fresh, and New. Please tell me how to pronounce your name again.
Pierre
Yeah,
for Evner Entertainment.
Ebonier, right?
Yeah, Evner
Yeah,
Entertainment is the channel.
okay.
Yeah,
Pierre from Evanier Entertainment.
yes.
Okay, so we're here for another episode of Young Fresh and New. Of course, I said his name twice. I've been trying to get it right since we've been up here. But we are here, and this is, of course, you by now you should know that this is a platform. This is a series for up and coming YouTubers that you may not know, and people that deserve to actually be seen that you probably haven't seen yet. So that is what this is all about. And first of all, thank you for doing this with me. I really appreciate you taking out the time to do this and all this other good stuff. So
No,
I
thank you for allowing me to be on your platform. I've been watching for a minute.
oh my God.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure we're gonna get into that in a
right.
second. So with that being said, we're about to start with the first question. So, being that you are an up and coming content creator, what made you want to start putting out content, and when did you start putting out content?
What made me start to put out content is like I would watch other creators and like how they would basically run their channels and stuff like that, and like I was inspired to do it. Every time I'm around people, they're always like, "Oh, you're so funny, blah blah blah. You know how to impersonate people really good. You should start making like videos and stuff like that." So I started in 2018. The channel that I have now isn't the channel that I had before, but that's
Mhm,
another story. We might get to that. If not, I'm gonna tell y'all real quick. But
mhm.
that's what made me want to do it because I like making people laugh, basically.
You sound like me.
Yeah.
Um, so okay, so we see so you told me why you wanted to what made you start a YouTube channel. So being that you're on YouTube and you're a content creator, I'm pretty sure you watch other content creators.
Yeah.
So when you before you started doing your content, who were you watching? What were the people you were watching before you started?
Somebody named Mr. Still Standing.
Oh God, not me.
No, like I used to watch your channel like a lot, a lot. Like I still watch it now. And I used to watch Justin J. Justin J. When he used to have the
The
black V
black
neck, right?
V-neck.
If you wasn't around YouTube them days, you haven't lived. Like this is before YouTube is so censored now. Now you can't curse
Right.
without YouTube. Like oh my god. So
Right.
like
If he was doing that now,
right, you would have got
he would get it.
removed. So
Right.
I watched him. I watched Ashley Miller. I watched Bonnie Blue, Forest Rocks. Um, there was some other ones I just can't name, but those are the names that just come off the top of my head.
It is so funny. When you said Ashley Miller, I knew Rocks and Bundy was coming right behind it. I
Yeah.
literally just told somebody earlier when we were doing this earlier, I said,
Mhm.
you can't say Ashley without saying Rocks and Bundy. You can't say Rocks without saying Ashley.
Exactly.
You gotta
Ashley
say,
started to review stuff like if I,
yeah.
yeah.
You gotta say all three of them. You can't say one
Right.
without the other two. You just can't. So yeah.
Exactly.
And plus I came up with all of those people,
Hmm.
Rocks, Ashley, Bundy, Justin J. We all came up at the same time. So, who inspired you to do a YouTube channel? It's one thing to watch somebody on YouTube, but to
Right.
be inspired by somebody is a different thing. I told this, I'm gonna tell you this.
Mhm.
When I was watching YouTube, there were many people that I watched, like Spoken Reasons, Brian B,
Mhm.
Quadir, Much Love from KY, of course. And this is when I first started. This is before Ashley came along and Bundy and Rocks. Like these are the people I was watching before they came along.
Mhm.
Um, it was like two other people, but in Sweet Addictions TV, I used to watch them.
Oh yes.
Because when it was Candy and Skittles, I was watching it
Right.
from the very beginning. But the two people that inspired me the most was Kevin and Mikhail from the Scorpion Show. Like I was a
Mm.
huge fan of theirs. I would sit there and back then we didn't have notifications. We just have to go to our subscription feed and see if the video out.
Right.
I sit there and I wait for the video every single day watching it. And the more I sat there and I looked at them, I'm like, I can do that. I
Yeah,
really feel like I could do that because I was already doing videos on Facebook already.
right.
So everybody was telling me, you can go over to YouTube, you watch it all day. I'm like, I ain't doing it. They ain't finna drag me. But the more I kept on watching Kevin and Mikhail, the more I wanted to do it. So I set out it to ask, to segue into who inspired you to do YouTube.
Two big people for sure is Ashley and Bonnie. And the reason why is because they came off so authentic on camera. Like you could tell that was their true selves, especially with Ashley. Like you could tell like in real life, she's really like that. Like me, I feel like in
Hmm.
real life, I'm really silly, like how I come off of videos. It's not like I turn off the camera and I'm like, ugh. Like I'm really that silly in real life. So
Right.
they inspired me because they showed me like you could be yourself on this platform and just put out content. Because I started off with like reactions because
Hmm.
there was a lot of reaction channels around that year. So I was like, let me start doing that. But then I ventured off later throughout the years to doing other content. So yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
so now that we're out of the whole thing of how what made you want to start YouTube, who you were watching on YouTube, and who inspired you, let's get into the platform itself.
Mhm.
So for people who excuse me, for people
Mhm.
who may not be familiar with you, what is your platform about? Like, what do you do on your platform? I mean, I would know, I
Yeah.
watch, but what would people do? What would people expect to see on your platform? Like, what type of content do you do?
Right. So most of the news that I cover is Zeus Network related, sort
I
of,
see.
but
Yeah.
I'm trying to venture out to do more worldwide Hollywood sort of news. So you should expect laughs, impersonations. Like I'm really good at impersonations. Like I can impersonate anybody. All I have to do is listen to you talk for like 4 or 5 minutes, and I could do you like that. Like I've always been like that since like a kid. Everybody's like, "Oh, you need to do voice acting and stuff like that." So you should expect that out of my channel. I do interviews as well. I don't like doing the interviews the most because you know how they go with like people don't show up, they cancel and stuff.
They
So
run late.
they
People get
relay.
mad when you do video, do
That's why I
interviews
felt
with
so
certain
bad that day. I
people.
was like, he gonna think I'm trying to flake, and I'm really not. Like
Right.
so
So,
yeah, interviews, reviews. I review housewife stuff. I'm getting into reviewing housewife shows, Potomac. But of course you could expect the main thing is Zeus. But like I said, I'm trying to venture off away from that. I'm not planning on stopping it completely, but I plan on doing less of it.
okay, because see, here's the thing. I'm
Mhm.
starting to try to get into the whole Zeus thing, but I don't really watch Zeus like that. And I was
Yeah.
like, the only time I really watched Zeus was for that whack ass bad boy show. And that was a waste of my time.
Yeah.
But with the whole Krishan and Blueface show, as horrible as they are, I said I was gonna watch the show. However, I'm glad to hear that because sometimes when you base your channel off of one thing, it can sometimes limit you to
Yes.
that, and then when you try something else, then it takes them a while to really get into it. So I'm
Yeah.
glad that right now you're looking while you're while you're coming up, you're looking to do other content. So in my opinion, you don't necessarily have to slow down on the Zeus stuff, but just have a healthy balance between your Zeus
Right.
content and everything else. You don't have to stop it, but you can also add other things into it so you can have more of a balance. So I
Definitely.
say keep doing your Zeus content because nobody else is doing it.
Yes.
So keep doing your Zeus content, and then while you dive into like the housewives content, 'cause that's some good content to do.
Right.
Housewives content, or any other reality show that you may be interested in. You can do all of that and all your gossip and mix it all the way up with your Zeus gossip. It'll work. Just
Yeah.
just make sure you can get it all together. So as a person that's on the come up on YouTube, and being that you did say you had a channel before, maybe you can incorporate the first channel into this question. What has been your what have been your struggles as an up and coming content creator? Because when you are on the come up, you do have a lot of obstacles and hurdles and
Mm,
struggles that you face when you are new on the scene.
right.
So what would you say were your struggles? And if the struggles started with your very first channel, you can also incorporate that. So
Right. I would say because of the content that I cover, not all the time I get approved to run ads on my videos all the time. That to me is the biggest thing I feel like YouTube needs to fix. I feel like the moment that they see that it's either a person of color or somebody of the LGBTQ community being
mhm.
covered, they automatically flag your stuff. They're like, oh my God, like we might not be able to run ads on it, which I don't think is fair. So they need to kind of focus on fixing that, because they're fixing so much other things, like changing monetization rules and changing all these other things that we don't care about, like a YouTube handle, but not fixing what we really need to be fixed, which is their automated system that checks if the video is good or not. Because I make sure, especially as of lately, to not curse, to not say certain words, and sometimes I'll still get flagged on some of my videos, and I have to have someone request. I have to request to have a physical person view my videos, which every time they view it, they approve it. So I'm like, if they keep approving it,
Then
ain't
what's the
nothing wrong with
point?
my videos.
Right.
So what's going on? Like, I don't get it. So that would say my biggest thing. And also just to another struggle, I would say, just to make sure that like you're policing what's being said from your mouth and also in the comments too, because you don't want to put anything out there that's like 100% false
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. And you got to be careful about what you upload. I learned that, like I said, from my last channel, because I did a video. This is how my last channel got like gone. I did a
Mm-hmm.
video about Saucy Santana, and I remember this day vividly. It was, I think, the last couple of days of last year, and it was about his alleged sex tape, which it wasn't him. And I said in the video, I'm like, oh, this isn't him. Obviously, he has the rose in the back of his neck. You can tell that's not him. I was screen sharing. I was on Twitter. You can see where
Uh-huh.
it's going. Next thing you know,
Uh-huh.
they catch a video of I call booty Big Debbie cakes. So they catch a video of these Big Debbie cakes going down in the video in the screen share. YouTube picked it up. I didn't notice it. I did, but like I didn't think it was gonna be a big deal because I scrolled up so quick. YouTube
Yeah.
picked on it and gone. I had to
Oh,
start from scratch.
I
So the
would have been
channel I have now, I started in January.
I would have been so mad.
Oh yes.
I
Oh
would
yes.
okay, so I have a small story.
Yeah.
Um about maybe 3 years ago when
Uh-huh.
I was still on my last months of being Mr. Still Standing. This was 2019. This was like October, maybe 2019. So this was like 3 years ago. Cause I changed my name
Mm-hmm.
around like September 2020. So this was like maybe like a year before I changed my name, before I rebranded myself, whatever. So I
Right.
was doing a video about OG and Evelyn. And back then I
Mm.
wasn't making thumbnails. Like I just go on Google and find something and then use it as
Oh
a
Lord.
thumbnail.
Right.
So one time I did that and I used it as a thumbnail and for my video. And the
Mm-hmm.
next thing you know, I had gotten all these comments from these random ass people saying, you stole this from such and such. You stole this. And I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? I didn't
Right.
steal anything from nobody. And they were just going on and on and on and on and on and just going in on me up until I looked and I saw I had a strike on my channel. And then someone struck me, the content creator struck me and
Oh
said
wow.
that the thumbnail that I used was the
What's
one that
his?
she made.
She made right.
And yeah, she made it herself, and I stole it from her. That's what she said. But in my
Oh wow.
opinion, I didn't really steal nothing. I didn't know it belonged to anybody. It looked like a thumbnail that anybody would have on Google. Like at that point,
Right.
I was just used to, Googling, typing in something in Google Photos, and it pops up, and I pick it up and send it over there to myself. So when they were saying that I was stealing it from her. Like she had posted my video on her community wall, had all her people come over there to attack me. It was
Oh
crazy.
wow.
And she said that I was stealing from her and she paid to have that shit made. And I was like, girl, anybody could have made that for free. But what you paying
I ain't
for?
pay for no thumbnails, baby. I
Yeah,
make
like I'm like,
it.
like no, like what the fuck? Like, are you serious? You really paid for
Hell
that?
no.
Okay, so she was saying that I stole her stuff, and all her
Yeah.
people were attacking me like crazy. And then I was like, I can't even believe this. Like, are you
It's
serious?
crazy.
And I had a strike on me. That was the very first strike that I had. I got that
Yeah.
strike in October. And I think by the end of the year, like December, it was October 29. No, it was October, September. It probably was September 2019 because they said it was like a 3 month strike. So it
Mm.
was either, I think it probably was September because by December it was gone. And
Right.
ever since then, I haven't had no strike ever since. So that pissed me off. Like that was like the worst. Like that shit pissed me the hell off completely.
Oh wow.
However, my advice to you is
Hmm.
just watch what you post
Yeah.
because YouTube is hella sensitive these days. They hella sensitive about the monetization because every video that I like, especially with me, because if you watch me from way back then, I cursed every sentence.
Right.
Every single sentence had a cussing word in it. Now I've been trying to fall back on it. And even when I use cussing words, at the very least, I still get that yellow thing and I have to go and get somebody to review it and it comes right back green again.
Right. That yellow sign is the devil. Like I swear
I
to
get
you.
so irritated. Like, oh my God, like, are you serious? Like, I didn't even curse that much. Are you
Right.
serious? And so that's the so a word of advice is just watch what you post because YouTube is crazy. Like, even with because I not only did I have somebody strike me, but I had a certain celebrity send her YouTube legal team,
Oh
send me a
wow.
letter. I think it was Shakana. She was mad because during that T.I. and Tiny stuff, when they first had their trial for them and they was going to jail and stuff, the case been thrown out now. But when she
Right.
was calling the blogs, anybody that had her name in the title or anybody that had her picture or her image in the video, she was sending her people after us to get the video taken down. She said, you need to blur me or you don't need to have me up here and I got my lawyers involved. I'm like, girl, you ain't that damn important. Okay. I took the
Right.
whole video down. I was really mad because that video was doing me some great numbers. But I said, it really ain't that deep. I'll make another video. It's fine. I just started calling her Love and Hip Hop's Teletubby. That's mean, but that's what I started calling her.
Yeah.
So, so it's yeah, you just gotta watch what you post these days because now that and celebrities hate us YouTubers now.
Oh
They hate
yes.
to see us on coming up and being the new media these days. They hate us now, so we really gotta watch what we do and what we say and all of this other stuff. So, um, so now that we're like at the closing part, this shit goes by so fast. Now that we're at the closing part, there's people watching this.
Hmm.
And some people may be familiar with you, but then there's some people that may not be familiar with you.
Yeah.
So for the people in here that's not familiar with you, why should they tune into your platform?
The reason y'all should tune into my platform is because y'all gonna laugh. Like you could just see by my
Y'all
comments. You don't
will.
even have to watch the video. Ask God, you even gotta watch the video. Just read my comments and you'll see why you should subscribe. Like I said, I do me impersonations from housewives, Zeus, celebrities, everybody. My favorite one is Tasha K. Cardi B, you talking to me?
And now
I love to
I
do.
gotta go. Bye.
I love to do Cardi. I love to do Tasha K. That's one of my favorite impersonations. So I feel like you should subscribe and check me out. Just if you want some lightness. I don't go dark either. Like a lot of the stuff I talk about, I try to make it as positive as possible. Of course, I don't like pacify anything. If it's serious, I'm gonna actually talk about it in depth, but I'm not gonna go dark and drop dirty exclusives and stuff like that. But if you want some laughs and you want something to really tune in every day, it's your boy Evan Entertainment.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
I'm gonna say this
yeah.
before we go. One thing that I've learned being on YouTube is that it's always great to have a village and other content creators that can look out for you. When I was coming up, I had Ashley, I had Bundy, I had Rocks, I had Much Love from KY, and at one point in time, I had Justin J. So it's always good to have a village behind you, and it's always good to have other content creators that has your back and is supportive of you. So I say that to say this. I am willing to be to you what they were to me, and I don't mind like collaborating. I don't mind shouting you out, sharing your videos or anything like that. Or I do panels all the time. I do one-off panels a lot. You could probably join one of those depending on the type of panel I decide to put together. Like I'm all about collaborating and in a sense helping everybody get to a certain point if I
Right.
can, because sometimes YouTubers, they get big and then they don't want to reach out to the people that's coming up under them.
Mm.
And for me, some people did it for me, so I don't mind doing it for other people, and that's why I did this series in the first place. So that is my, you know, olive branch to you.
Right. Oh, and also I wanted to shout out another person I forgot to mention is Busy Blue. That's somebody I like watched a lot
Yeah.
too.
I
So
work
yeah,
with
and
him
he
on my other series that's running right now.
right,
I
and he will
work with
shout
him.
out my old channel and stuff too. So if he's watching this, thank you to him. So yeah,
More than likely he watching.
yeah,
But anyways, thank you so much for coming up. I really appreciate it. And I am dead serious about everything that I just said in regards to me reaching out
thank
to
you, thank you,
you
thank
and
you.
me, being that person for you. In this thing, because like I said, it's always good to have a village. I had one and you can have one in me as well.
Definitely,
So
thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
no problem. And
Mhm.
you guys, that is it. We are up out of here and I'll see you for the next one. Bye y'all.